Well guys, we were hoping to get finished with chopping yesterday, but we got 26 acres of fava beans on the ground here that still need to be chopped up. We cut them down with the swather, I think 2.5 days ago-ish now, and these things just aren't drying out. We want to dry them out in the field here, just leave them on the ground until they get to about 68% moisture, and that's probably when we'll start to take them. 65 is fine too. But we tested them yesterday, they were at about 74%, so still just way too moist. For it to ferment good in the silage pit, it has to be at that right moisture content, and these things just aren't drying down. The stems, they're pretty thick, and they hold a ton of moisture. Also in the actual bean themselves, there's a ton of moisture, and it's just taking forever to dry out. So we're keeping a really good eye on it, checking it a couple times a day here, and hopefully we can take these really soon here. Before we get too far into today's video, Austin, the guy from Full Line Ag that brought the fent out, he filmed dropping the fent off from his end, made a YouTube video of it, and he's gonna start making videos. So if you guys want to go check it out, it's linked in the description down below. I'm on my way out to that field right now in the chopper. I'm just grabbing a moisture sample. So I'm just gonna chop a bit up, put it on the ground, and then scoop some of it into this pail I got with me right here. And then we're gonna take it back to the shop and take the moisture on it. I'll show you guys how that works once we get back there. So we're lined up to a swath. Gonna get the PTO going here. Tractor's mad at me for something. All right, gonna rev up. Drive forward a bit and put some product through. That should be good. That's all we need. We just need a little bit that we can grab on the ground there. PTO off. So we got like half a bucket full. In the shop now, we got our pail of chopped fava beans. And this is how we dry the stuff down, and check out the moisture content. This thing just slowly blows up really hot air. And we put exactly 100 grams of that chopped fava beans in here. And then we weigh it, make sure it's 100 grams, put it on here, dry it down so it's 100% dried out. And then whatever is left is your dry matter. And then whatever you lost in weight is what the moisture content is gonna be. So if I scoop this thing full of 100 grams, I put it on there, and there's only 40 grams left after I dry it for an hour and a half. That means my moisture content is 60% and dry matter content is 40. So that's how this works. So I'm gonna turn the scale on here. So at 0 grams there, this thing is exactly 190. Now I'll just scoop it full until it's at 290. So there we go, exactly 290, which means there's 100 grams of the silage in here. So I'm just gonna set it on there. It's gonna dry it right out. I'll come back here in an hour and a half to 2 hours and check that and see where it's at. Fava beans take quite a bit longer than barley to dry completely down. That's why it takes 2 hours. And we'll see what the moisture content is. We'll probably take it at 68% moisture. So it's been 2 hours since I had this drying, so I'm gonna weigh it now. This thing's super hot, so I gotta be quick. There you go. 221. So I just took that sample off, dried one more point, which means that this afternoon at 3 o'clock, it was at 70% moisture. I just went out there, grabbed another sample, started drying it again. So hopefully it's around 68, and then we'll take it tomorrow morning at 7. And then we'll be done with chopping for the year. And I'm really excited for that. It's about 8 o'clock the next day now, and we're not chopping this morning. Hopefully this afternoon we can come out here and just finish these 26 acres. We really just want to be done this stuff, but it just was taking forever to dry out. But last night I took another moisture sample, and that one was still at 70%, so hopefully this afternoon we can take it, if it dries a bit this morning yet. And last night there was some showers, some thunder showers around. You could definitely see lightning in the distance, and we just got super lucky and didn't get any rain. We don't need any more rain pretty much. All the crops are pretty much getting full, and any more rain is just going to make a mess in the corrals for us. So it would have really messed up our plans here, because then this stuff would be way too moist. But we got really lucky last night. It worked out for us, and hopefully we can come out here this afternoon, chop the stuff up. Since we're waiting till the afternoon to chop those fava beans, we're going to take some cows that are close to calving from the corrals and put them into the close-up area on that straw pack in the barn there. And I'm just waiting on my little sister to finish feeding calves here, and then me and her are going to go and do it. So she just runs along with the milk taxi. I made a pretty detailed video about feeding calves, I think in January. But this is just the milk taxi. Pasteurized milk goes in here from the milking parlor, and it gets warmed up, I believe, what, 40 degrees? About 41.9 degrees is what it's at. And then the calves get it. We pasteurize the milk just in case any of the cows have any viruses or any diseases. Usually not, but there are some, like leukosis. We're trying to avoid the transmission between the cows to the calves, just to try and get a healthier herd, make sure these calves grow bigger and stronger. And that's why we pasteurize the milk. Even the colostrum, we take it from the cow, pasteurize it, and then we give it to the newborn calves. So. So Miriam, she made all the gates ready. We just want to have that door open there, all the gates open, and those gates are closed off so that the other close-up cows stay on the straw pack. That way they're not going to run outside and not get mixed up with the new ones. Then we'll run them up into here, and then one by one we'll put them through the chute, give them some vaccines and stuff, and then we'll put them back on this close-up pack with the rest of the ladies here. So we'll bring cows from the corrals into the barn there once a week, usually Monday or Tuesday. They're 3 weeks away from calving, and we try to keep on top of that. We just took the one cow out there out of these two corrals, 8 and 9. These are our dry cow corrals. Ladies that have already been milked once and they're pregnant again. So we got the one out that we needed from there. Now we're just gonna walk through the heifer pen and look for any ladies that are bagging up. That way we know they're close to calving. and then we'll bring them up in as well. So you can see she's starting to bag up a little bit. She's still probably 3-4 weeks off, so we'll just leave her out here for another week. They get the exact same ration as in the barn as out here. So we got 1 cow and 2 heifers, and that's all that we're bagging up and getting close. We should have a whole bunch more coming later in the month of August. I believe we're supposed to calve out 30 cows this month, so should be pretty busy in terms of cows calving. She's just giving it 2 vaccines. The one is JVac, and that's for mastitis, and then the other one is ScourGuard. It's if you read it right there, it actually says coronavirus vaccine. Pretty interesting. We also trim the backs of the heifers just so that they can cool down a little bit more once they get into the barn. It's not as important during the summertime, but in the wintertime, this really makes a big difference when they have their winter coat on them. And then they come into the nice warm barn. They're gonna sweat like crazy if we don't. And we'll also trim their tails down. Just take that long hair off. It's pretty annoying in the parallel parlor. Just grab their tail like this. Her actual tail, like not hair, is about here. I can feel that, so I'll grab back here and just start trimming the tail while holding the hair. And then once you're done with that, you just feel where her tail ends and then trim it off like that. Some people will say that they need that to swat the flies away in the summertime, and that is true. So outside in the corrals, we never trim their tails, and then they can swat all the flies away they want. But in the barn with the tunnel ventilation, there's very, very few flies in here at all, and they're not really bothered by it at all. So it's just really convenient in the milking parlor. It's about 2 in the afternoon, and they finally dried off enough so that we can get out here and finish it off. That is it for silaging 2020. I couldn't be happier. We put up an incredible amount of feed this year for us, and right now on the yard we'll definitely have feed for 2 years. We always try and do that just in case next year is super dry. It is Saskatchewan, you never know if you're gonna get rain or not, and if we got very little crops next year, we'd still be fine to the next year. And that's kind of what my dad always tries to do, just get enough feed on the yard for 2 years, and that's what we got this year. So it's awesome to be done. There's still a lot more work to do. We got a haul manure, combining coming up pretty soon, and yeah, summer isn't over yet, but this is one of those really big jobs that needs to be done every year, and now it's done, so that's awesome. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Check out the Instagram @SaskDutchKid, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.